Todd Peak Appliance here. Right now we're looking at a Frigidaire dryer, and what we're doing is replacing the blower wheel on this. Now on this model, you have to buy this whole assembly. It's encased in here. You can't pry these apart, and there's not a good part number for this wheel. So basically when you turn it on, it just makes this vibration noise. I already pulled it apart and found that broken wheel, so I ordered the part, and here we are with the new one. So on this machine you get the tabs here. Push those in. Of course it's already unplugged. Disconnect your wire harnesses, and this is pretty handy. This is a pretty easy machine to pull apart here. And there's two screws. I took these out last time. They're right about here in the back side. They're drill, so pop those out, and the whole face just comes apart. These clips usually break, but anyway. This right here is a hook to support the drum. It's pretty handy. You got to take it off and get the drum out, though. Well, I guess you don't. You could probably bend the stay up, but I don't like doing that. I'm trying to keep it as smooth as possible. That's how you take the drum out. So this one here here's your bearing. Here's the rear bearing. This one's in pretty good shape. I'll go ahead and lube that. You'll see these though, once all this plastic is worn out, time for a new one. It comes as a whole assembly. You have to lift up on the drum, lift up on it, and what I did is I pried the drum. Makes it a little easier to get out, but there's a couple other things we're inspecting back here, looking at the heating element, and this one looks fine, and it's something I did do. I tested for heat when I was here, did my lookup on this part, which this is the whole thing, so you could see how this spins, but the motor does not. There's the motor. You can see I'm rocking it back and forth. Well, this is actually visibly cracked. This nut broke away. So there's the replacement. This is the replacement, so we'll go ahead and put that in. One of the things, you want to look at everything when you pull this apart, because parts are pretty reasonably priced on this machine. So we'll look at the belt. I looked at all this, but when I was here, but I don't know, this one's got some cracks. Probably throw a belt on there, but that element's good. The bearing's got some life left in it, and then over here on the door, you'll see the top felt seal. These are pretty common. Actually, not this style. This one's not bad. The rest of the felt all the way around. They're two different parts, so if you do need those, you got to make sure you get the right one. Those are good. This style Frigidaire has these plastic glides inside the drum, so that plastic sits on this portion and rides pretty nice. There's another system that doesn't have the plastic on it, and those seem to wear out a little bit quicker, but we'll go ahead and clean all this stuff out. And that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and pull it apart and replace this one. All right. So we'll go ahead and remove this cycling thermostat because that does go on the new one. And really what I had to do is kind of chip all this away because that was separated from this nut which came off the motor. So we'll be able to illustrate that though by when we put this new housing back on. So these are just, what is this one? This is a 7/8. I don't carry this stuff in my backpack, but so I had to run out to the van. I got that. And that's where the new cycling thermostat goes. And we'll get this old one out of here. So the motor's just held in place with this motor clip. And we'll look at that when we install it. So the old one, and this is the other part of the what holds the motor in place. That's on the front side, and then this clip is on the back. So put that in. These two tabs line up with these slots, and they go right into the machine. And then this front, or just these longer screws here that we just removed. So put these back in. Actually, what I'll do is put the motor back in first, because you kind of have to thread this on. So there is an arrow on here. It seems like most dryer wheels that thread on are a left-hand thread, meaning that you spin instead of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's opposite. So we'll just get that in there, not super tight right now. Make sure everything lines up. Okay, there's plenty of room on this one. And then here, this goes one way. There's a little groove on the back, and that holds the motor in like this, so the motor can't move out that way. So this pops right into place. Hear that click? There's just a little tab back in there. You can't see it. It's wedged between the motor and the blower housing. So, and then we'll put this clip back on, and that's this guy here. So that goes. There's one clip on that side and one clip on this side, and you won't be able to see that. Maybe you will. You will. So that's it, just a spring clip catches on this tab. So you got to make sure you're spot on with that, because if you're not, you'll be having to pull the machine all back out. So, and the other thing is the belt tensioner. This sits in here, and then there's a spring over here. You got to make sure this is hooked up too. So I need two hands for that, and then of course the wiring harness. Okay, that's it. That's basically it. So and we'll just put the rest on. I'll go ahead and torque this. I'll put a vice grip on the other side here. Again, this I don't carry in my backpack. Way too heavy, too much. Hardly ever use them. So I ran out to the van, got them. I'll go ahead and torque this and just reassemble, finish. Tighten those two, put the cycling thermostat back on, and then lube my drum bearing and put the drum in, and then we'll go ahead and test it. So from this point on, it's just kind of tighten up some loose ends here. Nothing really too crazy. I'll go ahead and wipe this out before I put it back together, and then call it good. Alright, so that's everything back together. Well, almost. Smooth as butter. Oops. You can see the ring, the heat. Well, I can feel the heat, but actually you can't see it with the way the flash is and whatnot, but you can kind of see it glowing at your element, and that's a Frigidaire. Good to go. All right. Thumbs up. Bye.